Good morning, my lovely things. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are feeling great and had an epic weekend. Welcome back to the channel. To those of you who are new, welcome to the Cavern of Secrets. I am Kasara, the host of this strange and random channel because I never stick to one topic. I am all over the place. Not that that's a bad thing. Just means I have a lot of interests, and there you go. I know I mentioned last week that I would discuss bipolar disorder with all of you, but I decided to tack on one other mental illness, since many serial killers did suffer from schizophrenia, just like bipolar disorder. Not that that means that only serial killers had bipolar or schizophrenia. There are many people that do have these disorders and live normal lives and are not criminals or killers or anything like that. They're just normal everyday people with just a different set of personality traits, I guess you could call it. Anyways, so we're going to start with bipolar disorder. What is it? Well, there's actually two types of bipolar. There's bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 is broken into 3 sections of potential symptoms. Before I tell you what those sections are, please do not try to diagnose yourself or someone you know with this information. If you feel that someone you know or yourself have some of these symptoms, please seek a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist to properly diagnose you. Something I was taught in psychology was to never use the DSM to diagnose ourselves because we are biased and might miss things or feel we have something when we don't. What most people don't know is to be diagnosed with a mental illness, some symptoms must be present for a certain amount of time. Having only one symptom does not mean you have the disorder. Some require 3 or more, some require 2 or more, depending on the disorder. Some also require you to have a few symptoms within each section of symptoms for a certain amount of time as well. It's why it's better to seek a professional who can work with you one-on-one to fully understand your symptoms that you're experiencing, to find out a proper way to assist you. Now with that out of the way, we can move on to what exactly makes up bipolar 1. So the 3 categories are manic episodes, hypomanic episodes, and major depressive episodes. A manic episode and a hypomanic episode share a lot of similar symptoms, such as feeling very up or elated or irritable, touchy, feeling wired, loss of appetite, decreased need for sleep, racing thoughts, talking very fast about a ton of different things. For some people, feeling as though they are important, talented, powerful, or feeling they can do a lot of things at once. Some partake in risky behaviors such as eating and drinking excessively, maybe spending or giving away a lot of money. However, the big difference between a manic episode and a hypomanic episode is that during a manic episode, the mood disturbance is severe to cause a marked impairment in social or occupational functioning, or a feeling to self-harm, which needs hospitalization to prevent from occurring. There may also be psychotic features as well, whereas a depressive episode is feeling down, sad, empty, worried, hopeless, slowed down, or restless, having trouble sleeping, waking up too early, sleeping too much, an increase in appetite, weight gain, talking slowly, forgetting a lot, trouble concentrating, making decisions, and having little interest in almost all activities that were once deemed enjoyable. Whereas with bipolar 2, people experience depressive episodes, shifting back and forth from hypomanic episodes to depressive episodes, but never have a full manic episode. While I was in school, we had to watch videos of people with both types. But the difference is they both actually could have been part of bipolar 1, but both could not be part of bipolar 2. And the reason why I say that is one individual that we watched, they were hyper-focused on researching topics to the point where it was hurting their job and their family. They gave everything up to research a specific topic, to try and do this amazing thing. They thought that they were going to change the world, basically, with this research, even though it had nothing to do with their job at all. And it was for their blog. And they would do this during work hours and all night long. They actually lost their job because of this, because they weren't doing actual work. They were busy researching this topic. that was going to be a game changer. Another individual had difficulty controlling their emotions. And sometimes they did get to the point where it was severe depression, where they did have thoughts of harming themselves. And if you do feel like that, there are numbers that you can contact, and I will put those in the description below. So it was interesting to see the differences between the two. And it honestly depends on the individual. Each one has different symptoms, and some cross into other disorders, which is why it makes it difficult to properly diagnose a disorder, because some things can be in other disorders. However, if they have certain symptoms that are associated with one disorder and not another one, just because they both have, we'll say, depression as a symptom or depressive episodes, it doesn't mean that they're automatically in one. They may have other symptoms that are associated with another disorder. That's why I say that it's complicated and it's not easy for an untrained or unlicensed person to do this. That's why you have to have a license to practice. Anyways, so I hope that gave a little outline of what bipolar is. I will leave links in the description for those of you who want to know more or gain a better understanding of the disorder. Schizophrenia is completely different. It involves a wide range of difficulties with thinking, behavior, and emotions. Symptoms vary, but usually it involves delusions, hallucinations, or disorganized speech. Delusions are false beliefs that are not based on reality. For example, someone believing they are being harmed when they're not. Comments being directed at them when they're not. It could also be that people are talking about them when they're not. Things like that. Someone may also believe that they are famous, or that some individual loves them, and they honestly may not even know the person. Some individuals also believe that a major catastrophe or event is going to happen. This might be a flood or an attack. Hallucinations typically are either auditory, so hearing voices, or visual, which is where someone might see something that isn't there. Disorganized thinking or disorganized speech is where effective communication is impaired and answers to questions can be partially or completely unrelated. Disorganized or abnormal motor behavior may show in various ways, from childlike silliness to unpredictable agitation. Behavior isn't focused on a goal, so it's difficult to do tasks. Behavior can also include a resistance to instructions, bizarre or inappropriate posture, a complete lack of response, or excessive and useless movement. Negative symptoms refers to a reduced or lack of ability to function normally. The person may neglect personal hygiene, so taking baths, showers, things like that, or they appear to lack emotion. So by that I mean they don't give any indication of like facial expressions when somebody tells them something sad or something that is amazing or great or something happy. They don't show anything, or they don't even make eye contact, things like that. The person also could show a lack of interest in everyday activities, socially withdrawn, or lack an ability to experience pleasure. Bipolar and schizophrenia typically occur in adolescence, but can uncommonly begin in childhood. It's just really not common. I don't know about schizophrenia, though. I don't know if that can actually happen in childhood. I think that's only adolescence. It's not known what causes these mental illnesses. It could be genetic. That's actually one for both of them. For schizophrenia, problems with certain naturally occurring brain chemicals could contribute to the disorder, whereas bipolar can be caused by stress or brain structure. More studies on the disorders are necessary to understand the cause, to better treat and prevent these disorders from occurring later on. That's why we're still studying these things and the brain, which is such a complex organ. I'll leave more information regarding schizophrenia as well below. So what are your thoughts on these disorders? I can't imagine what it's like for someone with one of these ailments. I know that there are medications that can help, but there are a lot of side effects to them, which can cause some individuals to try and self-medicate, which is what a lot of people that I knew were doing, because they don't like the side effects of medicines. I kind of wish we developed better methods of treatment. One person who doesn't care for medication as the only or best option with the treatment of mental illness. I believe other treatment methods should be tried with or before medication because you never know. A different method or approach may work as well or better than the medication or with the medication depending on the individual and their disorder. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you understand a little bit about the two disorders, and I'm sorry if it's a little complicated or I went too fast for you. Like I said, I'll leave the links below so you can kind of understand it better or what I'm talking about. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care until next time. Bye, everyone.